Hello again, Mrs. Hoekstra here. We are in Module 2, Lesson 7. I'm on page 48. Lesson 7 is the addition and subtraction of rational numbers. And the essential question today, how do you model the difference of two rational numbers on a number line? All right, so the very first thing here says that we have a real-world connection to adding and subtracting rational numbers. And it says, suppose a 7th grader's birthday is today and she is 12 years old. How old was she 3.5 years ago? Write an equation and use a number line to model your answer. So start off by drawing a number line. Of course, it's going to be easy for me because I've got a line tool. But I want you guys to draw a number line. And do I need to worry about negative numbers? No, because you can't age negative. So I can just start with 0 way down here. All right, start down with 0, and I need to go to at least 12, maybe even 15. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to go out to 15, but you can number these 1, 2. Okay, so I'm actually going to have you guys pause. I want you to give this a try, right, and see how you do. So go ahead, hit pause, and check back with me as soon as you have that done. All right, so here is my answer. I had my big loop all the way out to 12, right? I had plus 12 there, and then I just bunny hopped my way back 3, and then I did a half a bunny hop, and it puts me right between 8 and 9, so that's 8.5. So she was 8.5 years old. Now let's suppose you don't have a number line, right? Even though that's what we're talking about. For those of you who want to try to do this without the number line, here's what you could do. You could do 12, right, minus 3.5. And what we can do is just break it into 12 minus 3. We can all do that. 12 minus 3 is just 9. And then bring in the half. And what's 9 minus half, right? You have $9 and I take away half of it. Not half of the, half a dollar, I should say. Right? And so I could get 8.5 that way. So it's just another way of looking at it for those of you who kind of struggle with dealing with those crazy numbers like that. So let's take a look at example 1. It is the exact same problem, okay? But they're talking about doing this slightly differently. I don't have to start at 0 and make that bunny hop all the way to 12. I can, if I need to, just start at 12. So I'm going to put my number line on here, right? I'm just going to add in my numbers. So I'm going to put 0 down here, and then 1 is the next one. I'm just going to skip it and write 2, skip 3, write 4. I am counting by ones. I'm just writing every other one because I'm kind of lazy and I don't feel like doing all of them. All right, so there's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, right? I'm only writing the evens, but the other ones are there, right? I mean, 1 is here. I'm too lazy to write them all down. It takes too much time. All right, so instead of starting at 0 and jumping all the way to 12, I'm going to just start at 12, right? I know she's already 12. I don't need to start and age her from 0 to 12 to find that. So I'm going to start at 12. All right, and I know that 12 is a positive number, so I start at the positive 12. The length of the arrow is the absolute value. Remember, absolute value is always going to be positive, right? It's a positive because it's a distance. It's just talking about a distance. So I'm going to do 3.5, but I have to go left, underline the word left, because of the negative, right? That negative gives me the clue that I have to go to the left. If it had been positive, I would have gone to the right. But because it's left, negative, left, I go. So off I go. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3.5. I got to go halfway. I'm going to go to there, right? 3.5. So again, notice it puts me at 8.5. Okay? So just a different way of doing this. I want you guys to try this method here on this next problem. So I'm going to have you guys go, and I want you to pause again. And I want you to try using the method I just showed you. Don't start at 0. Start at the number that's given to you. I would start with the first number that's given to you, and then add to the second number. Go the direction you need to go. All right, go ahead. Hit pause. Hit pause. Okay, so I started at -2.5. That's this part here on the left-hand side, right? Right here, -2.5, that's where I started. And then I bunny hopped my way over 5 to the right because 5 is positive. And I bunny hopped, and if you notice, the bunny hops are always in the middle of the next number, right? It's between the two spots. And so I end up getting to +2.5. Okay? So if you got it right, awesome. Let's keep going. If not, hit pause and fix your answers. Get it right. We want the right answers in our book. Okay? All right, let's take a look at example 2 then. It says 1 minus 2.25. Rewrite the difference of 1 minus 2.25 as a sum, right? I'm going to use that SMATO. So I'm going to rewrite this, and I already did. So 1 minus 2 1/4 becomes 1 plus -2 1/4. We put the 2 1/4 in a parenthesis just so that we know that that's all together as one number. The whole thing is negative. Okay? It says, now we're going to follow this on our number line. Now I'm going to count by something different other than 1 this time. I'm actually going to count by quarters, by 1/4. So I'm going to put 0, or maybe here in the middle. All right? And so I'm going to put +1/4, then 1/2, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4 is 1, 1 1/4, and so on. And I can do the opposite on the other side. If I go backwards 1, it's -1/4, -1/2, -3/4, -1, -1 1/4. Okay, I'm going to do that because I have that 1/4 in there. It just makes it easier for me to find those spots instead of kind of estimating. All right, place the tail of the arrow on 1, right? Because my first number given to me in the problem is a 1, so I'm going to start at 1. There's my arrow, or the tail of my arrow. The length of the arrow is the absolute value, right? So how long is my arrow going to be? It's going to be 2.5, or excuse me, 2 1/4. It's going to be 2 1/4, and it's going to go to the left. So I take my 2 1/4. I'm going to go all the way. Here's 1. Here's 2 1/4. Okay, this is 2, right? This would represent 1. This represents 2, and here is my quarter. I'm going to stop right here, circle my answer. My answer is right there. What is the answer? The answer is -1 1/4. So drawing it out with those fourths in there is pretty nice. It makes it easier for me to find it. So if I had a problem with thirds in it, I would count by 1/3, 2/3, and then 1. And then, 1 1/3, 1 2/3, and 2. All right. I'm going to do the next problem with you at the top of the next page. Okay, let's try this one here. Again, this one's already pre-numbered for us, so we can't split those problems up. But we're going to start this problem out. I have -5 minus -8. Well, I don't like subtraction. Subtraction means add the opposite. So I'm going to rewrite this as -5 1/2 plus, and what's the opposite of -8? It is +8. So you can just write a +8, or you can just write 8. It's fine. All right. Start by putting the arrow, the beginning of the arrow, at the first number, right? Start at 5 1/2. So -5 1/2. So I go to 0, count back 5 1/2. It's going to put me right there, right? That's -5 1/2 because it's halfway between -5 and -6. All right, now I have to add 8. 8, what is the absolute value of 8? It is 8. And what direction do I go? I'm going to go to the right because it is a positive. All right, now some of you can just go exactly there, boom, right away. Most of us, however, need to bunny hop our way over there, and that's fine. Go ahead. So I'm going to bunny hop, and it bunny hops me into the middle of everyone. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ends right there. Okay, I added 8. And I'm going to put an arrow on it so I know that that's the direction I went. Okay. So where am I? I'm at +2 1/2. So what did we do? We start at the beginning number, right? Start at first number given. In this case, we started at negative 5.5, right? Then move to, in this case, the right, because we had a positive number, 8 spots. Okay? If it had been a negative 8, we would have moved to the left, right? All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to give the rest of these on this page a try. I want you to hit pause. If you want, you can pause between each one. You know, do one, hit play, see how I did, and keep working your way down. Or you could do them all at once and try to work them all out at one time. I'll give you a hint. You probably are going to want to count by fourths on this one, right? Would make your life easier. You probably want to count by 0.1 on this one. Maybe count by halves on C. What do you think you're going to count by on D? What do you think you're going to count by on E? Give those a shot. I'm going to hit pause now, and I'm going to do these as well. Okay, so my answer to A, I got negative 3 1/4, or excuse me, negative 3/4. So I started at 6, bunny hopped my way over 5 spots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I did a quarter of a hop and ended at negative 3/4, right? Because I'm behind the 0 and not quite to the 1, 3/4 of the way there, because I counted by fourths. For B, I started at 7, and I just bunny hopped my way over 0.9, right? I had 9 little spots in between, and then I got to 7.9. For C, I started at positive 2.5, and I have to go to the left 1/2. So I just bunny hopped over a half a spot and ended at 2. For D, I started at negative 1/4. That's way down here, right? That's the number I started at. And then I bunny hopped my way over 4 whole spots. I always made sure I ended at the same spot, and I got to 3 3/4. Remember, I counted by fourths this time to make my life easier. And then for E, I started at a half, right? Halfway between 0 and 1. And then that becomes negative 3, or the opposite of negative 3 is adding 3. So I bunny hopped my way over 3 spots, and I ended up at 3.5. All right? So if you need to fix any of those, please do so. I want the right answers in your book. For those of you who got them, we're going to go on to the next page. Page 51 says, create an equation and a number line diagram to model each answer. Samantha owes her father $7. I'm going to stop owing somebody, right? She got paid $5.50 for babysitting. That's a good thing, right? She got paid, so she just made that money. If she gives all that money to her dad, how much will she still owe him? All right, so let's start with our number sentence. She owes $7, so it's negative $7. And we're going to add the money that she's going to pay him. She's going to pay him $5.50. Okay, so we can make a number line. So go ahead and draw yourself a number line. We could start with the what? Negative 7, couldn't we? And then I'm going to count by 50 cents because I've got that 50 cents in that problem. So negative 7, half, negative 6, half, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. Okay, it says she's still going to owe him, so I don't need to go past that. All right, so she starts at negative 7. Right, there's my tail, and I'm going to add 5.5. So I'm going to just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then $0.50, right, to there. What number is that spot right there? Halfway between negative 1 and negative 2. She still owes negative $1.50. Right? She still owes negative $1.50. I know I like my fractions, but since we're talking about money, let's put it in decimals. All right, B. At the start of a trip, a car's gas tank contains 12 gallons, right? I have 12 gallons of gasoline in the tank. During the trip, the car consumes, that means it's using it up, 10 1/8 of a gallon. Okay? How much of the gas is left? Okay, so we have 12, and we're going to add negative 10 and 1/8. Now I could have said subtract 10 and 1/8. That's the same thing. Okay, so we can make a number line. All right, we could start with our number line, and we could have 12. And then eighths are kind of hard to count by, so I think I'm going to count. I'm just going to put myself in and just do whole numbers. 11, 10, 9, 8. Ooh, I don't know if I gave myself enough room. 7, I didn't. I'm going to have to start over. Personally, I don't want to use a number line. I think it's a lot of work, but we'll get there. All right, I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. All right, I wrote them all in. So I start at 12, right? Starting way down here at 12. I'm going to back up 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I got to back up 1/8 right there. 1/8. Okay? This becomes 1 and 7/8. I'm going to show you guys how to do this by subtraction. So if I just did 12 minus 10, you guys would all agree the answer is 2, right? And then I still have to subtract the 1/8. So 2 minus 1/8. 2 I could rewrite. I'm going to come down here, guys. 2 I'm going to rewrite as 1 and 8/8. Right? 1 plus 1, because 8 divided by 8 is just another way of writing 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, and I'm going to subtract 1/8. Well, now I've got common fractions, common denominators, so this becomes 1 and 7/8. Okay? Different way of looking at it. So they have 1 and 7/8 gallon left. They probably should go get gas, right? Unless you're Mrs. Hoekstra, in which case, hey, you live dangerously and go until there's about 3 miles left, and then you go get gas. That's just how I live. All right. A fish was swimming 3.5 feet below the water's surface at 7 a.m. 4 hours later, the fish was at a depth that was 5.25 feet below where it was at 7 a.m. All right. Where is it now, basically? So it was below, right? So that's negative 3.5. And now it's even lower than that, right? It's now even lower than that. It's gone deeper, so plus a negative 5.25. Well, since we're talking about depth underwater, I'm going to actually have my number line go vertically. Okay? And I'm going to start here at what? Negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9. I should have gone longer. Negative 10. Let's go there just to make sure we get far enough. Okay, so I start at negative 3.5. Okay, so negative 3.5 is right here. Right, there's negative 3.5, and I'm going to go down another 5.25. So I'm going to actually do 5 first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.25, which is going to be little spots in between there. I'm going to jump this little space right here. There's this little spot right there because a quarter isn't all the way there, right? That'd be a half a jump, and I only want a quarter of a jump. So where am I? I'm at negative 8.75. It's negative 8.75 feet below the water. Okay? All right, so I will see you guys in class. Hopefully you guys understood this. If not, come to class with questions for me. See you later.